But it's the next morning, and we're gonna get started. First off, we'll push this thing out here and clean it up, because it is nasty down in here from oil, coolant, all the grease and everything from 320,000 miles in 14 years. So we'll push it out, clean it up. I got the new motor sitting over here, and we need to finish putting it together. Everything needs to get swapped over. We need to put the new oil pump on it. New timing chain. I've got the dowel pin for that one that we were missing, so I can put the head on this side. I need to clean out the cylinders there where stuff's kind of gotten down in and junk, but this one's already on here. Put the rocker arms on this side, and we should be, that's about it as far as just bolting on everything onto the front once we get the internals done on it. So that's about what I've got for it this morning. Once I get it cleaned up and pull it back in, I'll pick back up the camera, and I guess we'll work on putting the new motor back together completely. So pick back up the camera in just a minute. All right, guys, so got the truck out here, and I was gonna do just like a quick little time lapse of me cleaning it, but I'm kind of running out of memory card room because I haven't exported all the videos from yesterday off of it. But I got it cleaned up as nice and as pretty as I can get it. We're gonna go get some paint. You see there, I'm down to just bare metal in here. Go get some Rust-Oleum and spray up in here and repaint it, make it look all nice. But for 14 years old and all the miles, that looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how clean it came out. So it'll be nice going back in and not dealing with all the oil, grease, and coolant and all that crap that was down in it before that was making it kind of aggravating to pull it out. So pretty excited to get started on putting this thing in. So while that's out there drip drying, we are going to refinish building that. I need to take the oil pan back off, front cover, and put the new oil pump in it, timing chain, put that back on, new dowel pin, new cylinder head on the other side that we didn't get, rocker arms, and we're going to take these valve covers and put them on there. I'm actually going to put them in a parts cleaner first, clean them up real nice, and then throw them in there on the motor. And once I do that, it'll probably be, I've got to go get some parts from the parts store. It'll probably be after lunchtime before we get the motor rebuilt and get back with parts, and then we're going to start going back in with it. So today's plan is to get it in there and start getting it hooked up. I'm not hopeful that it will start today. It'll probably be tomorrow, but we'll see where we get. I mean, it's just going to depend on how it all lines back up in there. So we'll see. So I'll pick back up the camera once we get, I'll probably pick up the camera once we get that motor all kind of finished up and rebuilt. So see y'all in just a minute. All right, guys, so hopefully you can hear me over the heater there. But old motor, all kind of torn apart, stole the rocker arm, the little spacer pedestal, yeah, whatever, I don't know exactly what they call it, off of that motor, put it on here. Got the new rocker arms on here. She's all put together, new oil pump, already starting to put, you know, brackets on the side, as much to put, we can put as much on it as we can before it goes in there. We've got an issue with the NOx sensors. I had to go get new NOx sensors, but there's a little plate that sits down in there, and one of them broke when we pulled it out of that motor. And so we're gonna go back to a Chevy dealership, and hopefully they've got those, and I'll get those in the morning. But today we didn't get as far as we thought, and it really came down to parts. It still had to run in new parts. The stuff off the old motor needed to be cleaned up. So, you know, we're trying to do it right, you know, clean the valve covers up and all, you know, stuff that comes off needs to be run through the parts cleaner. You know, putting that back together and then cleaning up in here, you know, I took a long time pressure washing it and then shooting and painting it. You know, that takes time. So, we'll just roll it over into the next day. So I'll pick back up the camera once we get to the next day. All right, guys, so I said I'd pick up the camera once it was ready to go in, and as you see, it's hovering over top of the truck right now. So we're just went ahead and got the brackets in for the motor mounts, and we got to fix one ground wire, and once we crimp that on there, it'd be ready to get dropped in. So I'll set the camera down and we'll just kind of, like the last video, I'll just time lapse dropping it up in there. And once we get it in there and get it kind of halfway bolted back up, I'll pick the camera back up and show you guys where we're at. Alright guys, so I apologize. I thought I was filming, but I didn't film the dropping it in here. So I'm sorry we didn't get to watch it drop in there, but it's not like it's amazing. It's just a motor dropping into an engine bay. But I want to show you guys what really slowed me down when I pulled it out. And I'm doing a whole lot better going in. So I got my wrench here, and I don't know if you guys can see it. There's a bell housing bolt way back here behind the, kind of down and below the cylinder head on the driver's side. And there's one right there dead center. Now dead center's not too bad. This one down here, it was really, really crappy trying to get it out because it was nasty, dirty, all that crap. But actually it's tight now. I already got it tight. I'm gonna tighten up this one in the center. And that's gonna do it for the top side. Get the ones on the bottom done, but it's about lined up. I'll take the hoist off over here in just a second. Once I get it all bolted in and start clicking some electrical back up, I'll pick back up the camera. Alright guys, so everything's hooked up down on the bottom, you know, starter, bell housing bolts, any type of clip, sensor, grounds and all that. Got the power steering pump bracket on here. That's where your alternator sits, right in there. AC compressors on down there. That's a you know what to get on, but it's on. So really what we need to do now, I guess, put the water pump on it. May wait for the alternator, be easier to deal with the intake manifold. Yeah, if we wait on the alternator. And then clipping all these things. Hell, half these clips clip into the intake manifold, seems like, you know, and you've got 8 of them for the injectors. That's why it looks like it's a ton of them here, but really after you clip them all into the intake manifold, there ain't anything left, and one goes into the alternator. So we're gonna put the water pump on it and get the intake manifold on. I guess once we get to about that point, I'll pick back up the camera because we'll be getting pretty close by that point. All right guys, so we're getting ready to break for some dinner, but if you see there's the headers. And they're on, bolted up. See, I gotta bolt that back up into the block. But when we get back, it's gonna be hooking the radiator hoses back up. We're gonna put the intake manifold back on it, alternator, radiator, and it's gonna start. Let's see. Let me get under here and show you guys. Even though I just washed up, to show you guys the headers and how they look under here. So. Let me see if I can get a light so I can show you guys what they look like. So there you go. Let me run on up through there. And same thing right here. Now these are Speed Engineering 1 3/4 headers, and they do fit. They really do fit. Yeah, they fit pretty good. We don't have any problems out of them. So they're all in here. I'm excited. It's going to be open headers for the first startup, so it's going to sound really loud, and you're definitely going to be able to hear the cam.
It's going to be raunchy.
It is going to be raunchy. So I'm going to go get something to eat, and I'm going to come back, and we're going to put that intake manifold, alternator, and all that on, and I'll pick back up the camera once we get to that stage. Alright guys, so as you can see, it's in here. It's hooked up to our knowledge. You know, everything's hooked up. It's, you know, E-fans aren't in the guard and all this. We just put the intake on it so I could have the mass airflow sensor, make sure it runs. But there it is. I mean, there's your final product, all ready to rock and roll. So now the moment everybody has been waiting for. Let's finally start it.
I'm getting no gas. I'm not getting any gas.
Oh, okay.
You don't want to hide. That's all right. It's cold. Fire back up.
right, guys. So there it is. It started up without those secondary O2 sensors, as you could tell. I mean, it's all over the place. And we went to turn the camera off, and I just started it up to back it up. And we were backing it up, and I wish I would have caught it on camera, but it shot flames out the headers. And what's going on is where it doesn't have the second O2 sensors. You know, it's not registering if there's any fumes or anything getting past the first one, so it's throwing more fuel at it, and it's throwing so much that it's just lighting it, spitting it out. You know, and we got flames shooting out the headers. So it's gonna sit here overnight. I'm gonna get a trailer. We're gonna get it to the exhaust shop so they can weld up the exhaust and get those O2 sensors back in there, and maybe it'll realize it's throwing too much and it'll fix it, and we'll be able to drive it, and it also won't be, you know, wide open headers, super loud. So there it is, guys. There's the install. We finally got it done, and I'm real happy with it. It sounds, huh? Oh, it's gonna, it'll shoot flames again. It ain't gonna, I don't want to try to make it do it again.
Well, there it is.
There it is, though. So, I mean, at least she fires up. But I appreciate you guys watching all the videos leading up to this point. And, of course, there's way more to come because it's not done yet. Because, of course, we've got to get the exhaust done. It's got to be tuned. All that crap. So if you're just stopping into the channel, hit that subscribe button. You know, like, comment, anything you got to say down in the comment section below. This is going to be a fun next couple of months because we got a lot of videos coming on this new motor and a lot to still get done. So thanks again for watching. Like I said, you can drop a comment down below. Follow me over on Instagram at Austin04_Z71. Watch out for that new video. Take care. Have a great day.